y'all get the live thing show up on your screen?
No, I don't see it.
Alright. Well, I'm monitoring it, so it looks like it's going. You moving to the control point already?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be lazy and fast travel.
Expected
samesies.
coming from you.
Samesies.
You know what? I don't need this.
Cool.
Work smarter, not harder. You know.
And I'm piggybacking off Alex, so there we go.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, should we wait for Ed? That's my question.
He will
Just like America, piggybacked off free labor. I get it, guys.
Damn.
Too deep for you right there?
Yikes. Fucking yikes.
I just got here and they shooting grenades already. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I probably kicked the hornet's nest a little bit.
And in advance, I just want to let y'all know at some point I am going to definitely be eating this fish and some fries.
Hey,
You
man,
can filter
that's
fish. You can filter fish.
There's no damn filter fish. The fuck is wrong with you?
Alright, hold on. So after this bit of a delay, I'm about to get killed. This is episode 2 of the Gamerside chat with your primary host Lex, aka Grizz, aka your favorite uncle, aka one of the guys you don't know yet because it's only the second episode. Along here with Wade,
Preach.
you know,
D Wade,
co-host,
the chief,
and other co-host, Mr. Mark.
Oh my god, I have no
AKA
such accolades. I don't feel cool at all right now. I feel like I sat at the wrong table at lunch.
Hey, but just say, rugby's on, you know, star rugby player, Mark, you know.
Oh yeah, you know, well,
hey, man,
number one prop, you know, yeah, number one prop.
So
yeah, that's me.
Oh, it's right behind. And we are currently 3 on a 4. Right now, our other member Ed is away. He'll be joining us shortly.
He's been kidnapped. I think he got taken down by the coronavirus.
He's been kidnapped by responsibility.
He got taken down by corona.
Yeah, I am down.
Not the virus. I think he's just drunk somewhere.
Just drunk too much.
Yo, I drunk too much. Oh my god.
But like I said, this is the Gamerside chat, and this is the podcast where we talk stuff while playing stuff. You know, talk shit while shooting shit. You know, we'll have random topics. You know, there's a little bit of structure somewhere behind the scenes, but one of the days we'll figure out something a little bit more finite. But for now, we'll see how it goes. Anyone who is listening, thanks for joining us. Also, I'll let you guys know up front, if you are watching this on Twitch and expecting us to be playing well, sorry. You know,
we suck.
We are not great
gamers.
This is not esports. You know, we're not trying to teach people how to be better at the game. I mean, you might get some lessons on what not to do, but you know,
always,
we just out here having fun. You know, so
yeah. I will die a lot. I will do some dumb things.
I just went down. Yeah. You know, I'm waiting for revive. Revive me now.
I will rush in without a strategy. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, Wade is the lone wolf. Hey,
for some reason, oh my god.
Hey, listen, I'm always Leroy Jenkins and some shit, so I think Leroy Jenkins is probably my cousin or something.
I'm still holding this damn L2 like I'm fucking Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know how I just got whopped just now, but good grief.
I'm following back to Wade.
Man, I just got you up, Lex. What the hell happened?
No, you didn't. The checkpoint officer did. Control point officer.
Yo, this battle bot is around here is terrifying the shit out of me.
You know what? It's fine.
Alright.
It's fine.
Alright. What we got?
Hold on. Let me regroup.
We're actually getting hit from two sides. That's the problem. That is the fucking problem.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, we got people coming on the street trying to flank us.
I mean, I'm just gonna lay here, you know, dick in the dirt, you know, just waiting. Actually, I'll respond. I'll just respond. It's weird. I was playing earlier and I wasn't getting killed this way, and I haven't changed my gear, but whatever.
Pistol King, take that lady out. There we go.
Take back the night. Is that what you're trying to tell me to do?
Take back the night. Oh, the officer's down. I gotta go save him before I save Lex.
Oh no, I just
What kind of shit is that?
I'm gone.
I'm just joking.
I mean, it's the kind of thing I would expect from a lone wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we call him, a lone wolf.
It's fine. I'm fast traveling now.
You could fast travel right here if the officer was alive. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
He's very important.
All right. Well, Greg's got the rear, so, or at least I thought he did. Huh? All right. We can rest easy. The officer's back up.
Man, this is taking a long time to fast travel.
Okay.
Yeah. We need them. We need them. We need you in the game. Mark, what the hell?
Well, I was in a pit of fiery hell. I don't know this shit. I mean, damn.
Why do people keep coming off the street?
Because we're getting hit from two sides. That's what I'm saying.
Lex came in at the right time.
I mean, do I just respawn and should I wait?
Oh my god, these people.
Oh,
yo, he died again? Yo, we're being flanked, Lex.
I know, I just got killed by a little battle bot.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's the fucking problem.
I don't remember them coming off the street this much, but whatever.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
Where are y'all at?
I'm trying to cover our flank.
I'm on the ground looking pretty bad, having a robot run past me. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna respawn. That's what I'm gonna do.
Apologies to anybody watching this, but like I said, we're not great. We just do this for fun.
Speak for yourself.
I'm speaking for all of us. All of us.
Alright, so let's talking point.
So
I'm dead.
You down too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. We normally go through control points like this. Alright, don't leave shoot. Were you already fast traveling, Mark? Because we don't want the control point to reset.
It's not gonna reset.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Can you fast travel to me, even though I'm not dead yet?
I don't.
Yes, I might
be able
to.
Hurry up, because I'm about to die for real. Hurry up. I'm stemming the bleeding.
I'm trying.
Use my body. Too late. I'm dead.
Yikes.
Matter of fact, yeah, I think because you were down, it wasn't allowing it.
Well.
Yeah.
I was running, thinking, oh man, this L2 is gonna mess me up. Or R2, just.
Alright, so one of the first things I wanted to talk about. Wow, that is two things going off at the same time. Okay. The wife is in there cooking and two timers went off.
Well, hey, at least she's using timers.
Sound like she's checking it up.
Yeah, man, we have some salmon. You know, it's gonna be pretty good.
I respect the person that uses a timer. I'm just saying.
My favorite.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Oh, sure, we tied up. Give me a second, guys.
Alright, I'm here.
He said, "Give us a second." Give me a second too. I'll be back.
I actually. Oh, okay. That's terrifying.
Actually, I'll take my second after this control point.
Well, I'm already down, so.
What?
I got hit with everything they had. Damn, this one battle just killed me. Hooray.
Oh my god.
Alright, sorry about that. Mark, you are down again?
Hey man, I didn't have a choice, okay?
Make my way with it.
Might be responding on y'all. Right. So.
Oh man, I'm about to die again too.
See, that's what I'm fucking telling you, man.
Let's try this again.
Get me through the wall. Can't get me through the wall? No.
Nah, it's not allowing it.
Alright, I'm coming around.
I got you.
Why is this control point so hard, man?
Because you set it to level 4. You did this.
Yeah, but you know how many level 4 control points I've slayed?
Well, look what happened.
This is karma. That's what it is. It's karma.
It knows that we're here. It's like, oh, nope. We're not giving them any chances. Alright, they're coming from our right.
Alright, so one of the things I want to talk about had to do with Dwayne Wade. Not what we talked about last week, but you know, Kobe Bryant did pass away. You know, they've done a tribute and everything. So at what I believe was the All-Star game. Yeah, at the All-Star game this year. Dwayne and Allen Iverson, you know, met up, and they're friends, and on the court, you know, whatever, they were friends. And there was a video that went out that of Wade and Iverson embracing, you know, like dapping each other up, giving each other like a long 2-arm real hug, not just little dap up. Alright, bro, I'm done again. That robot keeps punching my card, man.
I got you.
But you know, it was a good display. You know, both friends, both mourning a tragic loss in Kobe's death. You know, like I said, they both had like a non-standard dude embrace, if you will. You know, like they dapped each other up, but then gave each other like genuine hug. And you know, a lot of people have like different feelings about that. I personally think it was a good thing. You know, you gotta be willing to, you know, embrace your friends, because humans are creatures that benefit from, you know, touch one another, anything like that. So, if you guys haven't seen the video, you should definitely check it out. But it was like a meaningful embrace between the two of them, in a moment, you know, where they're both very emotional, because probably haven't seen each other in a while, and a lot was, you know, I think they had done like a miniature tribute to Kobe. I didn't watch the All-Star game, I just remember like some of the highlights. So, that's kind of like the part I want to talk about. I feel like a lot of us kind of have in the same mind about it, but, you know, I do think it's kind of an important thing. But yeah, a friend of mine wrote a pretty good article on the Undefeated. If anybody wants to check it out, anyone listening wants to check it out, I definitely recommend. When I stop getting shot at, I can tell you the title here. It is, it's on Undefeated by Ken Macon, M-A-K-I-N. Allen Iverson's hugs are a ritual black men should embrace. So the article is, I'll read a link over here. Not the whole thing, because it's definitely worth, you know, the clip, definitely worth reading. It says, straight from the article. Hold on. Again, I'm getting blown up.
Oh,
this is blowing everything up, man.
Yeah, I'm down too.
This is a perfect time. So,
Mark,
it reads, it reads, other than my dad or grandfather, the first black man whose hug I found distinctive was a fellow church member named Jeff Grant. He was a Sunday school teacher and a mentor. You know how when brothers hug, it's that first, then you pull in for the hug and pat on the back? Mr. Grant wasn't about that at all. Every time I saw him and led my right hand to dap him up, he would politely smack my hand away and stretch out his arms for a hug. I didn't appreciate the gesture until Mr. Grant died. I remember how his death resonated through the church, and even more so with his family. I thought about Mr. Grant when I saw Allen Iverson hug both LeBron James and Dwayne Wade during the All-Star Weekend in Chicago. The gesture isn't uncommon at AI. His embrace of Jimmy Butler in November 2018, when Butler was with the Philadelphia 76ers, also went viral. The thing is, it's not just that Iverson is boldly showing his affection for today's players. There's a visual and almost visceral feeling that comes from his hugs. There's not just mutual feelings, it's also mutual healing. Those hugs are revelatory and refreshing because we often fail to see the human side of athletes and entertainers. That failure is intensified when one realizes that so much of the black struggle is related to society's failure to treat us as human beings, quote unquote, three-fifths human. And yet, the AI hug just hits differently. It's like one of those granny's hugs where the grandbabies come around. Those hugs last forever. He'll embrace a player, and it's clear that he's saying something affirming in the moment. He'll release a hug, dap a player, then hug him again, as if he's sealing love and declaration into that person's life. Lord knows the person who's doing the hugging needs it as much as the person who's being hugged. We heard the stories about Iverson's tough upbringing and how he turned a childhood of injustice and adversity into an NBA culture tour de force. And while, excuse me, and while AI will always be remembered as a Sixer, those stops in Memphis, Tennessee, and Detroit made sense as well. His life has always been about the grit and the grind, and AI's biggest motor is his heart. He is, to quote the late Tupac Shakur, the rose that grew from concrete. He is, to quote Ossie Davis' assessment of Malcolm X, our manhood, our living black manhood. So again, that was just part of the article. I think it's a really good article that folks should definitely check out. But it brings in a lot of imagery when it comes to the regular black man hug. Dap your friend up, pull him in close, one arm, around the back and everything like that, and it's kind of common. And honestly, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's a good hug. Embracing your friends, period, is a good thing. But I will say you don't see a lot of in public anyway. What folks do private is different, but in public you don't see a lot of two arm embracing between men. I can only speak upon men that I see, primarily black men because that's who I tend to be around. But it's something you don't see a lot. And
I mean, ironically for me, it's the only kind of hugging that I've really ever known. Especially, I mean, particularly with being a gay male, that's just, we always give each other like a full-bodied hug, and it's nothing mentally for me sexual. It's just I hug my friends, and I've never thought, like, even I guess in a church sense, like people I go to church with, it's a full body hug, and
right.
I think
it's fast shoulder get put down again. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I think it's just but yeah, I mean, there are people like when I work, if I ever do it, but see, me personally at work, I don't like people touching me at work. Really, I mean, I just really don't. All right, well, I'm down because I fast traveled in like a jackass.
Yeah,
same. I got
we're all down. I don't know why this is so hard, but yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I think you bring up an interesting point.
I think but yeah, for me, it's never been. I mean, even with other black gay guys, I've never not just hugged them. Yep. So, yeah, up until this point, I hadn't even really thought about that though.
Hey, you can respond on the
But I think it's
control.
Yeah.
I think also they were talking about being able to say "I love you" to your friends and your male friends in particular, and not have it mean something other than like, "Hey man, I definitely I just want you to know, like, hey man, I love you." Because I remember I was having a conversation with Ferg the other day, and I made it a point to say it to him because I wanted him to know.
Right.
And it makes a difference. You just have to kind of. I guess it comes from a point to having to be able to be secure with yourself, and not worry about what people are going to think about you, as far as for how you want to care for your friends or talk to your friends about how you do care about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Which You bring up an interesting point. I wonder how much of it, as far as the origins of the dap hug essentially have to do with, a seeing expressions of, appreciation or I guess like hugs and there's a word I'm looking for. I cannot think of it. I don't know why. But seeing affection for your fellow man, having to, man it up in a way. Not having, it can't be something that the same thing you do with children or women or something. I wonder how much of that was. I love my friend. I want to show them, I'm glad to see them, but I don't want to embrace them the same way I would a woman or another guy or something like that.
I know. Growing up, I used to never. Give full body hugs or say I love you like that to my homies just because I thought it was I guess something you just wasn't supposed to do. Right.
Interestingly enough, though, for me, I do remember giving dap hugs like that, mostly because it came from a point of insecurity. Like, I don't want this person to think anything of me, so let me go ahead and, do this handshake this certain type of way, knowing full well I would have rather just hugged that person.
I'm down, right. It's an interesting dynamic because, I'm not going to say that anyone's love language per se is wrong. The way people choose to show affection, as long as you're showing affection to those who you want to show affection to, is good. And some people will have different ways of going about it. But the reasoning of why people do certain things a certain way, I think is important because if you're, I keep getting killed. If you are, say, dap hugging your friends exclusively because you don't want to be seen as doing something that's feminine or doing anything that, you think of full embraces, soft or sexual in some way or it's in the wrong signal, that you might want to have to examine that within yourself and say, okay, what brought me to that, to that conclusion? How did I get there? And I think a lot of it's societal because, some people don't even think about it that far. And not even have to. And like the dap hug itself is probably good for a number of people, but it's just like with anything, the reasoning behind why you choose to do certain ways is important. It might just be what a lot of people are used to.
I mean, yeah, it's still how I hug my brother. I mean, even though my brother's still my brother, it's still how I hug him.
Right.
So.
But yeah,
at the same time, we've hugged each other. I'm like, hey, man, I love you, and whatever the situation may have been at the time. But yeah, we have definitely hugged each other before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sometimes you just. I'll definitely say for myself, I know it's changing for me as I got older. Because I think I started taking, to me, I started feeling like it was more important to hug my friends in a particular way. It just, I don't know, I'm not going to say it felt more genuine because, the dap hug is still definitely genuine. But it just felt a little different. Like, it felt like it hit different, the hug thing. Especially if I haven't seen, like, somebody in a long time or something like that, And there's still a clear separation on how, I'm hugging, like, the homies or something like that compared to how I hug my wife.
Yeah, I think personally with y'all, like last time I saw y'all, I hugged y'all. Like I just straight up hugged y'all.
Yeah.
We're all at that point of embracing each other now. So like without making it awkward. I think the first person whoever got me out of that though, was thinking like it was like taboo to do that to one of your homeboys was Benny. I feel like Benny was the first person I met who would say like, I love you, bro, like for real, like you need anything, let me know, like I love you, bro.
And the funny thing about Beans is that outwardly you would think, Beans he's a consummate New Yorker, Brooklyn guy. I mess with him until he's from the Bronx, so he's from Brooklyn. And you would think he wouldn't be down with that. It's based on stereotypes, not because, it does.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we all got smashed with suicide bombers.
Crazy.
But Benny was the same way. I think Ferg as well. When he got a little more secure to himself, he was kind of like that. So he's about to get killed. But
he reviving me.
Yeah, I think definitely I'm right here behind it. Definitely as we kind of got older, I definitely noticed a change, and then I don't think anyone said anything, but it more or less was like an example thing. It just feels natural, hugging your friends in a way. To me, it just feels like it accomplishes a certain of a different thing, and and I still will do the dap hug with a lot of people, especially people I may see frequently and stuff like that. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe if there's some separation, you ain't seen the boys in a minute, it may feel a little different.
I don't know.
It's almost like there's levels to the hug, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it just may be. I think it's more so the person because I don't think I'll ever not just hug y'all. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any time that I could ever look at myself to be like, this is the appropriate time to do a dap hug. I mean, maybe depending, I guess, depending upon where we all are or whatever. But even then, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Fuck.
Yeah. No.
What are they gonna do? Fight me?
Yeah. Showing affection is for you and the other person. It's not it's not performative for anybody else. Put on airs. Like, because if someone questions you, well, why you hugging that man like that? Why are you questioning me? Like, why are you asking that kind of thing?
Business?
Matter of fact, why are you around me? This isn't, again, how people choose to show affection. Again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that, the dap hug is wrong. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But
I just feel like it comes from a place of insecurity for people that have that type of mentality.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I noticed with the kid, he does that with his friends, the dap hug, whatever. And I think it's just for like kids, it's kind of a learned behavior.
I think for kids, they just mimic us, to be honest.
Yeah. But, he's seen me, hug my friends and stuff like that, and he doesn't, for a 10-year-old, he's pretty, pretty self-assured in a lot of ways. And, it's like, stuff like that isn't, like, awkward for him or whatnot. I kind of feel like a lot of, younger people are going to, kind of come into things like that a little bit different than our generation. We are, a little bit of an evolution, but it's definitely interesting to see. So yeah, I think some of it is, I think some people just examining, if that's just their preference. Some people have a different preference when it comes to, showing affection some ways. Because some people are like, this is the most amount of physical touch I can handle. Okay, cool, I get that. Definitely get that. It makes perfect sense. Some people aren't huggers. Like some people show affection through like a firm, long-lasting handshake. It's just a number of things. But or the side hug, like friends. Like one thing I noticed that like with close friends, close friends, I just give like a regular hug, full embrace. But I will say that and this may be mostly because of how I feel about optics and stuff. With female friends of mine, when it comes to women, if we're not the closest of friends and stuff, especially if my wife doesn't know you, I'm typically not going to give you full. I'll give you the side hug. I'm happy to see you and stuff. We're hanging out and everything, but I can give you the side hug. That's a little, I guess it's a little bit of a different thing because, again, it's
I hear you,
like
Mike
optics.
Pence. Like Pence right there.
Don't do it like that. Can't be in the same place as another woman. But but I think it's more or less like an optics thing.
I definitely feel you on that. You don't want to be out hugging on somebody, I guess. And somebody, oh, I see your husband.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I was down in A and came across a friend of mine, whatever. That's happy to see her. Gave her the tight side hug. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So
I don't even know how to do that. Maybe I don't know.
You don't know the church hug? Hey, baby.
Yeah, that's church hug. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a hat. It's like a hat. It's like a half side hug. If you see it, you know it. Yeah. Or if somebody you cool with but not really cool with, and you give them. Well, I mean, I've seen it done. So where it's like they you want to give them a hug, but it's not a full hug.
Yeah.
It's a fake hug. It looks kind of like a fake hug. It looks fake as fuck if you've seen it, I think.
Yeah. It can.
Probably the reason why I don't know why is because I hate giving hugs that I don't want to give. So if I don't want to hug them, it's not gonna.
Oh, absolutely no, absolutely. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm not going to give you a hug if I don't want to hug you.
nobody has mentioned the fact that Ed is
Ed is
running
back.
around with us, and
Yep,
he is
Ed
not
is
in
back.
this chat. So
He
Right.
ain't said a word.
I think he might still be on the phone, but. Hey, Ed, can you hear us? Stop running around for a second. His headset might not even be on. I don't think his headset's on.
fuck, I forgot
Ed.
to do my meal prep today.
Ed.
No,
Ed, stop
actually,
running.
my wife did half of it.
Nah, he's not listening. Hopefully he'll get on here in a second. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing because some people kind of reacted differently to that, you know, to the whole hug thing and stuff. And I just think it's important to
I
hug
put
your
it this
friends.
way:
But
we all can't be adults. I'll leave it at that.
Oh damn.
I just leave it at that. We all
Yeah,
can't be
man.
adults.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, the important thing is
That's a shame.
just like with anything, examine why you do things. It's not always the what;
Right.
it's often the why. You know,
Yeah.
because you know I don't want. I've seen it before. You know, thankfully none of my close friends, but like, you know, can't hug a man who just gay. Like, come on, man. Telling your friends like, I'll never tell another man I love him. What is wrong with you? Like, come on.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't even understand
That's
how that
sad,
is gay.
honestly.
Like that's
Well, see, here's the thing though. For even the tough guys, if they want somebody every day to hang out, they consider another one of their friends to be close to them, but they won't tell them they love you. I guarantee you, if they go to their funeral, they'll say it.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like,
you gotta give your people their flowers while they can allow to smell them. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
exactly.
absolutely true.
you can't
That's
hold
very
on to
true.
that till they die.
So,
You know. And the thing is, you know, and it doesn't have to be all the time. It's whatever you're comfortable with. You know, because one thing I will say, I think that different people value verbal expressions of affection differently. You know, where I may not say I love somebody a lot because to me I want to keep a certain value. Because if I'm saying it too much, then am I devaluing it or do I really feel that way? You know, I'm not. I want to throw it out there flippantly, but at the same time, I know there's nuance between stuff I'm saying. You know, I can say I love a thing and it have no effect on if I say I love a person or something like that. You know, and you know, I just kind of, as a person who kind of keeps a lot of my emotions measured out, basically for my own sanity. It's like if I tell somebody that, you know, I mean it and stuff, but I feel like it's still important, you know, even if I don't say explicitly that you know it. Like if we've been friends for a long time and I feel like you're my boy, I love you, like one of my great friends, then if you don't know that, then I kind of feel like I've done a disservice by not communicating that.
Yeah,
yeah, I hear that.
I don't say I love you to everybody. Like I really don't. And more so for me, I rather show you that I love you
Yeah.
versus than just tell you all the time. Like for your wedding, when the day after, I I pretty much stood outside in the cold and cooked for you. And honestly, I did it because I loved you. I mean, that was just that was what I could do for you.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that
and
food
it's,
was
for
good.
me,
It was real
that's an
good.
actionable thing
Right.
versus than just saying like, "Hey, man, I love you, bro." Yeah, yeah. Like, no,
Yeah.
actually make that love have action to it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, actions definitely speak louder, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's important to say it and show it. You know, show it more than you say it. But again, for some people, they may want to hear it more than they see it, or they want an equal measure. Which, nothing wrong with that. You know, like, so I don't want
Yeah.
to tell anybody how to love. I just think, just think about why you choose to express love in the same way. If you're comfortable with that, and that's good enough for the people around you, so with it, then that's fine. But
Yeah.
if not, you know, just examine, do some little introspection and say, hey, are the people around me getting what they need from me? Because there are levels to friendship, there are levels to relationships and everything, and people
Right.
have different relationship needs.
Yep.
Like me and one of my good friends who live far away, we probably talk once every few months, but when we talk, it's like never missed a beat.
Yeah.
And same thing with my father. We'll
Oh, side
talk.
note, y'all.
Huh?
I'm going to raise the Nest control point to level 4. So
Okay.
it's like south of the mountain. Anyway,
Of
all right,
course.
go ahead.
Of
All
course
right.
you are. Of course you are.
You said the mast.
The Nest.
Where's the nest? I see the mast.
It's south, but not all the way south. It's right under Safe House Archive, the one that we were teleporting to.
Uh huh. Ah, okay. I see it now.
All right.
Yeah.
But also too, I think another reason it's important to tell someone that is because you never know what people are going through either. And I think sometimes just simple, nice gestures can change people's mind about
Yeah.
either life. Somebody might be trying to take their life. You don't even know.
how much that could do for them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
So
you
For
want
someone
people
to be
to
like,
know. You want people to know how you feel about them, especially if it's good. You know, and you don't want there to be any misconceptions or questions about it. Where you know, and it's not just for courting. You know, people are like I didn't know. You know, such and such the way it may be, or you may feel like you're a better friend. Like your friendship is stronger than it may actually be to another person's mind. So it's good to you don't have to necessarily say it plainly, but just have an idea of how it actually is. You know, make sure you're on the same page.
I
you
think letting
know, they're
people.
attacking the control point right now, right?
Oh, that one I don't care about.
Okay.
Yeah, I just started a riffraff for no reason, pretty much.
You start a row.
Yeah, to get the heat off them.
Mm.
I think sometimes it's just important to tell people how you feel about them in general because this week at work, there's this guy who I started the job with. We started at the same time, so we got pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since our job, had like a 90-day probation period.
Mm-hmm.
The interview was like 8 hours long or whatever. It's really hard to get in this place.
Right.
So we kind of told each other, we're gonna look out for each other on our probation or whatever. But like this week, we were doing a task, and he was training me on something that I knew how to do, but the tooling to do this task had changed, and I wasn't familiar with the new tooling, and he
Mm-hmm.
was. And so we're building something and putting it together, and it wasn't going as planned. He was training me on the new tooling, but it wasn't going as planned. And so like after fighting with it for a few, I went and asked for help from someone else. And later on, he told me that he got frustrated with me or because he felt like I didn't trust him to get that job done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not exactly how I felt at all, just because I wouldn't, grab another guy to help us.
Right.
So like, he told me like it hurt his feelings because he counts on me to get a lot of stuff done, and he didn't want to feel like our relationship was one way to where he's just counting on me all the time, and I don't, I guess, count on him or value him for, for nothing or whatever.
Right.
So he kind of told me he felt a way about that, which I didn't know, like, that's how he felt. So we actually had, a little exchange or whatever where I reassured him about like our relationship, and there is stuff I got on for. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I guess he just didn't know that, and he didn't want to feel a certain way. But yeah, I think it's just important to let people know how you feel in general. I guess.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So,
You gotta be on the same page. Like
got to
Yeah.
be.
me. It's good to know you didn't tell them don't be so emotional, bro. It's just work. Like
Yeah, yeah, you
there's
can't.
different dynamics to that kind of stuff.
Right. And I could have because we're quick to tell other people like stop being a bitch or whatever. But we were closer than that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so.
Who
Yeah, when it's time to have a real conversation, it's time to have a real conversation. Like,
Right. Put
with
your foot
somebody
down,
that you
bro.
respect anyway. Yeah, someone you respect anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the same thing kind of goes along, with anything as far as thank you, man. Anything as far as relationships, working relationships, or it's your brother or your sister, your parents. Which parents can be the hardest one because they're your parents, but it's it's important just to be not to be plain and just put that stuff out there. You know, don't leave too much mystery up there. Because the
Right,
last thing you want people to assume, because people can assume in both directions. People going to assume you're not as close as they thought, or they think you're closer than you actually are, and you're like, I'm not even on that same page.
right,
Like, man, I don't even like you like that. Or you might see someone as a brother, and they don't even know it. They may not feel the same because they don't think that you're that close. So, and I'll definitely admit, like, having somebody, not understanding your closeness can be, you not be on the same page. It can be a little aggravating. It can hurt a little bit, especially if you're the one who thought you were closer than the other one thinks.
Yeah.
Because then you have to think to yourself, am I like putting too much of myself in there? Am I putting not enough of myself? You start to question yourself when it could just been, you interpreted actions differently, and people just respond to different stimuli different ways. So yeah, that stuff would be kind of messed up. And even somebody is like, oh, dang, what hostage want to do? Even like with somebody like me who's like real guarded about my emotions and stuff like that, I kind of had to keep myself in check. Again, just for my own emotional sanity. But I have to pick times to be vulnerable in those ways. And not be afraid of my being emotionally rejected somehow. Because it's going to happen. You and somebody else aren't going to see the same thing all the time. Not always going to be on the same page. But you want to at least have an idea, or at least a better idea of what it really is, of what's really going on.
Right. That's true. We beat this topic over the head yet? Is there another topic?
Yeah, I mean, I
want to know where Ed is.
Yeah, because I know the other thing we want to talk about was, want to discuss that, but I know he wanted to be a part of it, so we'll give him some time. We'll just talk about whatever else, kind of like how we were just talking about, how Buttigieg and Steyer have both pulled out of the Democratic race.
Oh, so I knew Steyer dropped out. I didn't know Buttigieg dropped out.
Yeah. Pete said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Pete said, "Fuck it." Pete said, "Fuck it" today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Steyer was just up there dancing with Juvenile, and then he went in suspended his campaign.
Steyer was up there backing that ass up with Juvenile, was he?
Yes.
I mean, this man came and I heard that man's name so many times here in South Carolina. I was so aggravated.
Listen, man, listen. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how comfortable I feel with these people pandering for the black vote like that, man. That just Juvenile, really.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you had.
Look at me. I'm cool. I'm hip. I like black people. I'm over here with Juvenile.
I like the blacks.
I like the blacks.
Hey,
the thing is I feel like it's a slap in the face almost, because I know Tom Steyer ain't listened to one Juvenile album, not one album.
Right.
But
hell,
he's
I
up
probably
there
haven't listened to one whole Juvenile album.
Point taken.
Shit, if that's what we
I've listened to multiple Juvenile albums, so
I know some of the classics.
I'm pretty sure if you mention 400 degrees to Steyer, he'll be like, yeah, my oven goes up to 400 degrees, maybe a little higher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how you bake a good roast. 400 degrees right there. Yeah, that's how you.
500 is the standard, but yeah, it does. It gets there.
You can go as low as 400. Yeah.
I mean, sure.
I mean, you don't want to go too much higher than that. You want to crisp the skin, but you don't want to burn it. You don't want to dry it.
Yeah, just keep it moist.
Only 400 degrees,
You gotta baste that thing. Every
slow
10
motion
minutes.
format. Slow motion format.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. We taking this?
Yeah, but it's funny when I heard that. The funny thing is though, that reminds me of the Sanders campaign.
Where the hell are you at, Mark?
Yeah, come on, Mark.
I needed to do some inventory control because my shit was full. So
they just lobbing grenades.
Where y'all at?
Come on.
All right. I'm behind Ed for that matter.
Yeah, y'all both need to bring y'all ass. For that matter.
I'm following Ed for some reason.
Oh, how did I? Yo, somebody blew my BB-8 up. I really hate that.
I think Ed just saved a hostage.
Coming to you, Lex. Get behind this wall.
But it's funny how
walking around with Ed is like walking around with Helen Keller right now. I can't talk to him. I can't. I just gotta follow the shit that he did.
He ain't speaking, but yeah, that was one thing. Yo, these mortars are getting on my nerves. And disorient. Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned, the juvenile thing, because you had Public Enemy, Chuck D and them were out there for Bernie Sanders, and I guess.
Oh yeah.
I guess. We get flanked. Oh, we get the flank. Come on, man. I guess. I haven't paid attention to the whole thing. He wasn't there, but he wasn't going to do it or something. But apparently, Chuck D got mad at him, and
at Bernie Sanders or
at Flav saying he'd rather dance for his money instead of make a difference or something along those lines. And I'm like, one, ouch, that's kind of harsh,
Yeah.
But you know how Chuck D is. Chuck D is like real, politically charged. You know how he feels about certain things. But
how did you feel about Flavor Flav on like the flavor of love and all that other stuff? You probably don't care for that. I don't know. I almost think about it, but
Chuck D will tell you anything that he sees as cooning, he is not for. So who knows,
right.
But yeah, that was the thing. But I'm torn when it comes to celebrity endorsements for politicians. Sometimes I feel like, for me personally, it feels like it sends the wrong message in a way, because you have these celebrities kind of like endorsing them, but the celebrities themselves, you don't, especially actors, you don't really know them, and you don't even know if these wealthy people's stuff align.
Right.
Like, perfect example, like I would have, if you would have told me that Killer Mike would have down here is coming for Trump for Bernie, I would have
for Bernie.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have. That's an endorsement I did not see coming. I didn't think Killer Mike would go out his way to endorse for
anybody.
Endorse Bernie like that.
Yeah, I didn't see him doing it for anybody. I didn't see him, especially like, if you listen to his songs, he's been, critical of politics and stuff like that, and mostly Republican politics, but a number of things. I was definitely surprised. I can understand when certain, try not to sound hypocritical, I can kind of understand when, like a celebrity or somebody stands up for like a local politician who will make like an actual effective change in the local area that means something more to them. Seems a little different. But yeah, like having Public Enemy for Bernie, and then juvenile.
I mean, but at the same time, it's probably a little bit of dualism involved for me, because at the same time, celebrities are regular people, and they have opinions about who they want to vote for as well. You know what I'm saying? But just because they're held on a higher pedestal, I guess people think that, I don't know, their opinion holds more weight, and that's not necessarily true. But I mean, they do have a right to vote
personally, if just because you're a celebrity, if you are for what I'm trying to be for, I don't care who you are.
Right.
If it doesn't benefit me in a way or it benefits my community, then I don't. Okay, well, thanks for the endorsement, but two fucks do I give if it's not really worth anything to me,
Right.
So I mean, people hold celebrities on a higher pedestal too. I mean, here's a case in point. So your boy Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders, and people was like, no, Bernie, don't accept his endorsement. He's a scumbag. Like, I mean, he got a right to,
he does have
choose
a right.
Who he wants to vote for, just like anybody else. Like,
yeah. But at the same time, when it comes to celebrity stuff, you gotta look at their body of work and what they've been saying. Like,
but there's
because honestly, if you're a politician and Robert Kelly endorses, you might want to think about your campaign and what the hell's going on.
I get that, but I mean, there are regular people who are shitty too. Like, I work with shitty people every day. They're not, you know what I'm saying? But they might have, a valid point every now and then. Just because you're a totally shitty person don't mean that you can't have some values. That you know,
say it's so hard. It's so hard for you to say.
No, I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm down. Yeah, I mean, now you could be a shitty person voting for somebody because you want some shitty law passed. You know what I mean? And yeah, that just makes you more shitty. But
I don't know.
I mean, like R. Kelly.
Huh?
Yeah, that's definitely. I was about to say, like R. Kelly voting for a politician who wants to lower the age on consensual sex or something like that. Like, that's pretty fucking.
Hey man, I don't care. I don't care if this person like. I'm gonna have questions if this person's like, you know, if he came out and supported, you know, Julian Castro while he was still in, or what's the name, Elizabeth Warren or somebody. I'm still gonna have questions. So I'm like,
right,
what's going on behind the scenes? At some point, you got to be like, yeah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Burn fools, burn.
What is Ed? All right, wait, I got you.
I appreciate it. I don't know what. Oh no, Ed's doing something.
Yeah, he's playing. But...
Ed's playing. He is definitely playing.
I assume he's on the phone. I'm trying to figure out why he's not on the chat.
What if there's like a technical reason we can't hear Ed? What if,
I feel like he would have mentioned somebody.
Yeah, he definitely would have said something by now.
What if he has been saying something? What if he's trapped in the game?
This is off topic. From I think we only had like 2 topics today. But
yeah,
there's this new show. Yeah, there's a new show out that I'm giving a watch to called Hunters. I think it's like an Amazon Prime original. But pretty much it's like these Nazis that infiltrated the U.S. government, and they're trying to build a Fourth Reich inside of the government. So they're basically trying to, you know, make a network inside the U.S. government, so they can basically take control of it. It seems pretty good so far. Interesting concept. There's like some Jews in America. Like, it starts off like this Jew calls this one guy's out who's pretending to be American, but she recognizes him because he slaughtered like her whole family or whatever, and basically blew his cover, and he killed his like fake wife, his 3 fake kids, his neighbors, and like everybody like right there on the spot because his cover was blown.
Wow,
it was crazy. So like,
spoiler alert.
What? That's like the first 5 minutes of the first episode.
Well, they've been ruined. Thanks, I appreciate it.
That should actually get you into the show right there.
How dare you assume what's gonna get me into the show?
That should be enough. I did my part. Amazon can cut me that check now.
Yeah, well.
So I don't know.
It's funny. I wonder why like Nazis on the topic of now for like certain shows. There's that was it the Man in the High Tower or whatever it's called on Amazon? That had, what if they had won, and then look at the Wolfenstein games that came back out, which are tend to be pretty good stuff. I heard the last one.
It's probably like a bunch of old whiters around during the Cold War who's still stuck on the the Nazi guy, though.
Who still believe in World War II is the best thing?
Yeah.
The best subject matter? Yeah. Maybe.
Like, that was the biggest threat. Actually, I was, there was this documentary, and it was talking about, like, at the time, how we, as Americans, there's a movie period where everything was, like, versus the Germans or the Russians.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, Rocky 3, where Drago came about, and, like, yeah, and a bunch of other movies. So there was, like, a period where we were just obsessed with, like...
Get out this door. Yeah, but it reminds me of that time period where all the shooting games were against Middle Eastern people. You know, that was a thing for a while.
That was a thing for a while.
And if it wasn't the Middle Easterns, it was Koreans, the North Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything is a byproduct of our culture at the time or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Art imitates life. Sometimes the other way around.
Yeah.
Sometimes the other way around.
Because like I said, how the hell did we get here? This damn sitcom we living in right now.
Yeah, art imitates life, man. You look at a lot of stuff what's happening. You know, a lot of people may not agree, but there was a thing from what's his name, Van Jones, when Trump first got elected. The night of the election, Van, even though I have some issues with him, because his flip floppiness and turned out the cheekness with some nerves sometimes, but he said he basically coined. He said that the election of Trump was a backlash against the presidency of Obama. You know, where it's like you had Obama for president for 8 years, and there was some dissatisfaction in the way that people had to go to almost his polar opposite. You know,
the pendulum swings both ways.
Very much so.
Do you think because Obama was president that electing Trump is payback for that?
That's what I'm saying. They call it. That's what they're saying, like a backlash of being rich.
Okay.
You know, and I agree. I agree to a point. You know, because the thing is, you know, Trump. He pushed the whole birther thing and stuff like that. He did some outwardly like racist stuff. When he was
spearhead that.
Yeah, he spearheaded birtherism. You know, he was against Central Park 5. Never apologized. You know, he questioned.
Oh yeah,
he was on a not a panel, but he was at a hearing for like land claims or something like that. And he, you know, tried to, I guess, check Native Americans almost. Are they really Native American?
Native Americans.
Yeah. Are they really Native American enough or whatever? Are they real Native Americans because they have access to this reservation land that he wanted to build on or some nonsense like that? But you know, if you listen to what's supposed to be the ideals of the country, which are often bullshit, but you know, everything that's from the bootstraps to American way, also Trump is the antithesis of that. He is not that at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you compare Obama to him, Democrat, Republican, black, white, scandal, like I said, family man, one wife, 2 kids, 0 scandals. Trump, multiple wives, multiple scandals. You know, the wife not even an American, which of course his supporters don't care about. You know, when it's him, they don't care. But you know, it was almost like they went. They went completely in the other direction. Plus, that was one of the reasons that Hillary didn't get some votes because she was too close to an Obama. You know, in that way. You know, she supported a lot of his stuff, and it's weird that it went that way because you know when a lot of Democratic politicians who were going up for re-election had stopped, didn't support Obama the way that he should, you know, towards the end of his term, and they kind of try to distance themselves from him and his policies. A lot of them lost their re-election bids. It's like you can't just be on this person's team all this and you guys abandon or whatever. The people notice that kind of stuff, and a lot of them lost their districts, lost their regions that they were all over. Trump was definitely like for some people, not everybody, because some people are going to vote Republican, period. But for some people, just like any dissatisfaction they felt for Obama administration, they went completely opposite direction, even though there were no indicators that this would be better economically. Because to me, a president and a government's purpose is to make sure that the country, and when it comes financially, that the country's in the black. That the country's not broke, the country has money, the country can take care of its people. I balk at the idea that the government should be the moral center of people. You don't need to rely on your government to tell you what kind of person you should be. That's why I believe in the separation of church and state. And I don't think that there should be that. I feel like Christianity has too much pull in the say of what goes on in government. It has too much influence in a lot of ways. There should not be a national religion in any country. No country should have a national religion. not everybody believes the same thing. Hell, a lot of Christians don't even believe the same thing because there's 11 different denominations.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you have your Methodists, your Protestants, your Evangelists, you know, AME
Yeah, these
Zion, Jehovah's Witnesses,
some
all
of these
kinds of stuff.
some of these evangelicals, boy. Yeah.
But, you know,
Oh yeah.
there was nothing about Trump's thing. People keep saying, you know, oh, Trump was a genius businessman and he don't run a country like business. No, you don't run your country like a business. What's wrong with you? The country is
Yeah,
not
I
a
just
business.
figured
I never understood
I
that.
just I just found out about I think it's yesterday or the day before. So there was, I guess, some like evangelical groups who was trying to start private schools just so they can keep them segregated,
Mm-hmm.
and that rubbed me the wrong. And that rubbed me the wrong way. That rubbed me the wrong way right there. So yeah, just putting that out there.
I mean, there's a lot of people on either side who support segregation, which I don't understand from some angles.
I feel like I told Wade this a second ago. I'm about to eat this fish, not this gefilte fish, you
Yeah, that
asshole.
gefilte fish.
Not this
You about
damn
to eat that
gefilte.
gefilte fish?
No damn
Man,
gefilte
go
fish.
ahead, eat your gefilte fish, man. It's all right. It's all good.
I mean, I've been eating for like the last 10 minutes, so it's fine.
Oh, well, see, what the fuck? All right, you know what? I'm about to kill this cod, yo.
I mean,
Trying to disguise it as Kai. That ain't no damn Kai. I don't know who you think you. I don't know who you think you trying to con. Trying to con us with that Kai. Get out of here. You nigga filter fish.
First of all, gefilte fish isn't even that bad.
Filter fish.
right.
You taking advantage of the fact that these people out here cannot get in contact with us. But we are going to fix that one day. Because you know somebody be like, you don't talk about gefilte fish that way.
I've never had gefilte fish, but so can you tell me how that tastes when you get done? That
This
gefilte
guy I
fish.
got,
That gefilte fish that you
yo
got.
ass, yo ass.
Yeah.
Is it flaky like say salmon, or is it like
Oh, gefilte fish is not. Is ground up. It is not flaky at all.
Yeah, it's
oh,
ground
it's
fish
ground?
meat.
Oh, so
It's
it's
like
like
ground fish meat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ground fish.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make like fish burgers or something out of it?
You could.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what is it normally pair with? How do you
I think it's normally
how
paired
you
with like
prepare that?
vegetables or something, but I would not. I've
Like
never had it.
lentils. Lentils, I believe. Not 100%.
Hmm.
I kind of wonder
Oh, this
what
fish is
the rest of this election
amazing.
cycle is going to look like now. Because who's left?
Oh my
Biden,
God.
Sanders, and
Warren,
Warren. I guess Amy
Biden,
Klobuchar is still in it.
All right,
Klobuchar.
and that's
No,
Klobuchar. I
she
mean Klobuchar. Did she back out?
yeah, Klobuchar. No, she didn't back out. I don't think.
Okay.
okay.
And then
I didn't think she did.
Bloomberg, of
Yeah,
course.
she said she wasn't gonna back out because she was like ranked number 3 at the time. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. She not going. She ain't going nowhere. And Bloomberg hasn't gone anywhere.
Oh, I want him to
That
drop out.
clown. I want him to spend all
Could
his
somebody
money and
revive
get the
me?
worst consolation prize ever.
Wait, where are you?
I was taking over this thing so I can raise this other. I'm dead.
Tell you
This is a
long.
perfect time.
You gotta stop lone wolfing, man. You gotta tell people where you're going.
Oh, this is a perfect time for me to go check on my kid, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, don't
Go be a
sound
family
excited.
man.
Oh man, I love that little guy to death.
There you
Man,
go.
Wait,
I will be back.
which one were you trying to go to? I don't even see it.
I just fast traveled to a safe house, but it was like northwest of the safe house.
Okay.
But the control point I was taking was like north of that, but it was a little control point, not the big control. Let's see. I was trying to make control point Ivy Tunnel to level 4, pretty much.
Ivy Tunnel. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, y'all might want to take this over before it leaves, because that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get there in time.
All right. So, all right, go ahead and go check on your kid. I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna wait on the other topic because I know Ed wanted to be here for that. So
All
we'll
right.
probably table that till next week.
Okay.
So for everybody listening, appreciate you joining the 3 out of 4 of us right now for episode 2 of the Gamerside Chat. As a reminder, go to theundefeated.com, search for Ken Makin, KenMakin, to read his article on Al Iverson. Al Iverson's hugs are a ritual black men should embrace. It's a really good article. Talked to myself, I definitely support it, and I think everybody should read it. And I think we'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Peace out.
Deuce.